talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It's gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
Dominance. Straight fucking dominance. That's what happens when you have a real pitcher on the mound. Let me say that again. A real pitcher. Taijuan Walker, I'm looking at you because that outing last night was absolutely atrocious. And I hope they put you on the 60-day IL with your blister, quote unquote. I think that's really just a way of saying that you're absolute butt cheeks. But the Phillies win tonight 12-1. Absolutely dominant performance, dominant outing. Eric, also known as Shard, here with the 302 Birds postgame show, and just what a win, dude. I mean, we all knew that they were looking for revenge from the NLCS last year, and they wanted revenge last night for that horrible performance. I mean, I know we didn't do a show last night. Honestly, I fell asleep because I was pissed off at Walker, but like it just shows that this team, once they put their mind to it, can really do anything and really can outperform whoever they're playing. I mean, if they played like this last year in the NLCS, they probably would have went to the World Series. And honestly, I think they would have won the World Series because the Rangers, the Texas Rangers, are absolute dog shit. I mean, you look at how they're playing this season. Granted, it's probably a World Series hangover, but like, I think we could have went all the way last year. I still think we're going all the way this year, but we'll see what happens. But getting into our first topic, the one thing I want to talk about is Zack fucking Wheeler, dude. Zack Wheeler is on an absolute tear tonight. He definitely needed this outing, especially after what happened last outing on June 16th against the Orioles. Last outing, he went 4.1 innings pitched, 9 hits, 8 runs, and 8 earned runs. Tonight, he goes 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, only 1 earned run, no home runs, no walks at all. I know he had the hit by pitch, but that doesn't count in stats. 8 strikeouts, and his ERA was a 2.73. And so, I mean, definitely what we needed from our ace starter, our number one starter this year. I will say that it just seems like there's like the team's motives or perspectives, depending on who's on the mound, changes. And, you know, last night with Walker being on the mound, he let up 4 home runs. The team, honestly, if I was a player, I would be pissed off at your starter. I would be happy if the Phillies can find a way to get out of his contract. I think it's going to be an off-season thing. You know, I think they're going to have to wait till the off-season to see, okay, can we trade this guy? Do we just, you know, take a nail in the foot and, you know, take the hit for the money? Do we, you know, try to bundle him in a package? Like, I just think that if we had a 5th starter who was actually a decent starter, this rotation would be good. But oh wait, we do have a 5th starter because Turnbull came in last night and pitched dominant last night. So it's like I'm hoping that Rob is finally getting the wheels turning in his head and seeing that like Walker just needs to go, dude. I know they came out today. Well, first of all, yesterday, Rob said he was going to talk to Walker and see if he was healthy. Walker said yesterday that he, quote unquote, was healthy. And then it came out today saying he had a blister on his hand and it was affecting his velocity. So hopefully, if you want my honest opinion, hopefully that blister turned into a 60-day IL because, I mean, like he just, like David said here, absolute garbage last night. I think, honestly, if you had anybody else on the mound last night, we would have won that game and we would have won the series tonight. Because the Diamondbacks, as you can see tonight, and I said this earlier in our group chat, as you can see last night, or not last night, as you can see tonight, they couldn't hit shit. I mean, they only got 2 hits off of Wheeler. The only reason they hit last night was because Walker he couldn't pitch. So, I mean, again, and I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but Wheeler, absolutely dominant. Tomorrow is Christopher Sanchez mound day. Christopher Sanchez just got a 4-year extension today. I didn't look at the numbers, but he's absolutely deserved that. His ERA is sub 3 right now. I believe it's like a 2.6 or something like that. Christopher Sanchez. It's at a 2.91. Yeah, so it's still sub 3. So he's honestly one of the best pitchers in the NL. And he deserves that. I mean, if we can get, like I said, if we can get a decent 5th starter, we'll be set. I think next season, if they can get Painter up, I think our starting 5 will be set. We have our 3 guys locked for the next couple of years. They just extended Wheeler. They just extended Nola. They just extended Sanchez. I'm sure, honestly, if you're smart, you extend Ranger Suarez for the next couple of years, especially after the start he's had this season. So that's 4 of you guys right there. And then if Painter can come up next season off of Tommy John, which they're going to have to take that day by day and see how he does. But if he can come up, again, I think you have one of the best starting rotations again next year and for years to come. Going into the next topic, though, the one thing I want to talk about, dominance, dude. Absolute fucking dominance tonight. They had 4 home runs. Harper went 3rd inning off of Henry. Bohm went 3rd inning. They went back to back, so he went off of Henry. Nick off of McGo, and then they put in some position pitching in the 8th inning, and Dahl hit a home run off of Barnhart. So I mean, like 4 home runs in this game. I know they let up 4 home runs last night. As Davis said here, Casty's shot was sexy, dude. Like he knew that was a home run. Like every single nuke tonight was just crushed. Like I think the shortest home run tonight was like 412 feet or something like that. Like all the home runs they hit tonight were absolute moonshots. And then like Nick, he just knew it was gone. Like he didn't even wait for it to land before he started taking off all his batting equipment. He was just like, you know what, that's fucking gone. I'm taking off my gloves. I'm going in and rotating the bases. So, like, it was just absolute dominance, and I wish that they got that last night, but again, just their mindset is completely different with who's on the mound. But, I mean, like, everybody on Twitter was saying the same thing. I think tomorrow's going to be the same thing. I think they're going to come out and crush tomorrow because who's on the mound tomorrow? Harp and Bowen both 4.44. I mean, yeah, dude, like they were just crushed, dude. Like they were just gone. Like Bryce Harper, you could just tell he was pissed, dude, because like his home run just went to the second deck, and you could just tell as soon as it came off the bat that it was just gone. Tomorrow is Christopher Sanchez versus Slade Cesoni. Whatever. He's 2 for 5, 5.9 ERA, 39 strikeouts. Christopher Sanchez is 4 for 3, 2.91 ERA, 66 strikeouts. So, I mean, it can go either way. High ERAs, like, I mean, tonight they got to him. That's great. Some nights it's like we'll make them look like Cy Young winners. So we'll see what happens. I think tomorrow, again, is going to be dominant. It's a really early game, though. It's 11:35. The Phillies they kind of hate day games. I think it's early because it's on Roku, and I know Roku, they like won their bid for national broadcast on Sundays, so that's probably why it's so early. But hey, we don't have to wait late for a game. It's early in the morning, so we'll see what happens with that. Again, I mean, I don't see them losing, knock on wood. I do think that they'll come out dominant. Yeah, like David said, Roku TV for the broadcast. So anybody that has Roku, I believe it's free. I don't think you have to pay for it. So that's always good. But yeah, I think they'll be dominant. They'll not be playing in the heat, so that's great. I know today I had some friends at the game. Sean from the main podcast was at the game. It was like 105. So just if you went to the game, kudos to you, man, because like it was too hot for that, especially baking there in the metal seats and whatever. So yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. So, but going into the next topic, and like, David said earlier, Nick Castellanos, dude, Nick Castellanos is on an absolute tear. And the one reason that he's on a tear is because his son, Liam, is finally out of school. If you've noticed, anytime Liam is in attendance, Nick goes off, dude. Nick Castellanos was 2 for 3 today, had 5 RBIs, 1 home run. I believe he had a single and he had a single, double, and I think a home run. So absolutely on a tear today. He's finally starting to heat up, starting to get back to what we saw at the beginning of last year before the All-Star break. And it's exactly what we need from him. We need somebody at the bottom or towards the bottom of the lineup that's going to hit and produce and score those runs. And that's what he did tonight. Again, he had 5 RBI. He had 5 runs batted in. So he's on a tear. It sucks that, in a sense, Liam has to be in attendance in order for you to show up. You shouldn't have to have your son holding your hand for you to get RBIs. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. We need the mayor of Philadelphia in attendance for you to step up to the plate and stop swinging at garbage. Like the past couple games, I've noticed that he's starting to slowly lean back and slowly start taking pitches that he probably would have swung at a couple weeks ago. He's starting to walk. He's starting to get those base hits. Whereas earlier, a couple weeks ago, he would be swinging at shit that's way in the dirt, way outside, way inside. Just not seeming like he cares. So that's great for him. Great for the team. The only other thing I want to kind of nitpick is the bottom of the lineup. Like Stott was absolutely terrible. He was 1 for 5. Sosa, he was 0 for 1. Merrifield 1 for 2, but Merrifield only got a hit off a pinch hitter. So like, it's really sad that you can only get a hit off of a pinch hitter who's throwing low fucking velocity. Pache's 0 for 4. Marchand, I think, had a double. He was 1 for 4. Marchand hasn't been up here for that long, so I can't really shit on that because like Marchand is just the guy that's up here to kind of fill in. The one thing I do want to talk about is Pache. Sorry guys, had to hit a fly off my monitor there. So Pache, I don't know if they made the right move for center field here, because like Rojas has been tearing it up in AAA ever since you set him down. And Pache is clutch when he wants to be. Pache can get hits when he wants to be hitting, but just like he's just terrible. Rojas, I think his batting average was like a 0.28 or something like that the past couple games he played. And it doesn't feel like that because he doesn't really hit that much, but he's better than Pache. And I get you had to send Rojas down because he's the only guy that you had left with options. You probably don't want to DFA Pache because, if you can get him the consistency and you can get him the at-bats, he'll probably start warming up. I just hope that he can do that soon rather than later. Because it's just the bottom of this lineup just cannot produce, and it sucks. Like Whit Merrifield, terrible. Pache, terrible. Dahl's just kind of not what he needs to be. Rojas, when he's up here, he's okay, but I just hope they made the right choice. We'll see what happens with that. It is what it is. So. But yeah, like David said here, Sosa listed as day-to-day. I don't know. It hit him in the pad, so I just think it might be bruised, or he might have just hit his nerves there. Because even Tom and Kruk on the broadcast said that they thought it was like a funny bone thing. If you ever hit your funny bone, it's not an actual bone, but it's more so a group of nerves. It stings for a while. So I think that's what happened. I think he just kind of got it in the wrong spot. But Sosa's been on a tear. The bitches love Sosa. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully he's okay. I mean, we do have the depth to kind of fill in his spot. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully he's okay, but it did hit on the shoulder pad. So the last thing I do want to talk about, we finally got to 50 wins. We're finally the first team, not in the MLB, but the first team in the NL to get to 50 wins. Even though we're not the first in the MLB, it's still a really big accomplishment to even be the first 250 in the NL. I believe the only other team that's right behind us in the National League is the Dodgers. They're at 47 wins. So, I mean, like, again, huge accomplishment for us. I think this is the fourth fastest that we've ever gotten to. Yeah, I'm looking at the stat here. Fourth fastest to 50 wins in franchise history. And then we got to 50 wins. This was the 76th game of the season. So fourth fastest to 50 wins in franchise history. So, I mean, absolutely on a tear right now. I mean, like, can't ask for more. I believe we're tied right now with the Yankees because we haven't played as many games. I'm going to pull up the standings here. I'll share my screen. So, yeah, so I think we're tied with the Yankees right now because we haven't played as many games. So if you look here, it looks like it's tied. The Guardians and the Guardians are like really weird this season because they're like sneaky good. The Orioles, again, they're good, but they're I think they're losing to the Astros right now. Yeah, they lost to the Astros today. So I mean, like, good teams lose, and I'm glad that these teams are losing. So that way, you know, the trolls on Twitter can get off of our back because, like, the Yankees, I think, lost as well yesterday to the Braves. The Braves and the Yankees are playing right now, so we'll see what happens with that. But, like, it's good that the Phillies won today because we went from 10 games up, and I think now we're sitting at, like, 6. So let me look. Yeah, we were at 6. If the Braves lose today, it'll be back up to 7. But we really need to keep this lead so that way we can just keep the division. I said at the beginning of the season, I think towards the end of the season, it's going to go back and forth between us and the Braves. It seems like that's going to be the case. Like Chiefs King said here, F the Braves, F the Mets, F the Nationals, and F the Marlins. F the whole division, dude. But yeah, so again, looking at the league, Dodgers are 4 games behind us. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm glad that we got the first to 50 in the NL. I'll take it. I mean, we were the first to 20, 30, and 40 in the whole MLB. Yankees can have 50 in the MLB. Kudos to them. I still think it's going to be either us and Yankees or us and wow, I can't speak. Us and Yankees or us and Orioles in the World Series, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have for you. It was, even with it being myself, it was a little bit of a longer show today. So yeah, Phillies win 12-1. We'll be back again tomorrow. The game's at 11:30 tomorrow, so it'll be an early afternoon post-game show. Hopefully Dolt or somebody else will be here tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. But if not, you guys will see me again tomorrow. So Eric signing off. See you guys tomorrow. And we're going to go ahead and roll that damn outro. See you guys.
The Vikings!
Swing and a drive, left field. It's going, and it's gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know.